Right, live in just 1 minute, folks. Just grabbing a drink. Oh, right. Let's reduce that a little bit. Alright, folks, how's it going? What do you mean I had 24 hours? Mate, I've been sleeping all day. I think I woke up at like 7 o'clock today in the evening. I've been sleeping all day. That Wait. What am I saying thank you for? What is this shenanigans? And there was me sitting down, getting ready to write, you know, my do my video on Bluepoint. And well, you know, Microsoft just couldn't hold it for another 24 hours. Their ability to do what they do has to be studied at some point. So, as you can see here, hey, how's it going, Drew? Exactly. I mean, with Bluepoint, I said someone should buy them because they're a pretty good group. They do really good remasters, and they're a talented team. You know, if anyone wants like remasters and remakes, someone should buy them. Microsoft should step up and pick them up. And people are like, nah, let them shut down. Better than Microsoft buying them, let them shut down. And I'm like, wait, what? And Xbox was like, hey man, hold my beer. You think you've got a studio closing down? We've got a double CEO takeovers. Hold my beer. But as you can see here, Asher, the new CEO of Xbox. Today I begin my role as CEO of Xbox. And here are my 3 commitments. Great games. So we should be seeing 9 and 10 out of 10 games now. Narrative-driven story games and whatnot. The return of Xbox. I don't know what that means, but maybe they're referring to the glory days of the 360. Maybe they're going to go back to the days of exclusivity. This whole third-party pivot is not working for them, really, in my opinion. So it could actually mean the return of gatekeeping to a certain extent. I don't know what they mean, but what she means by future of play. So that is the 3 things that she's committed to. I saw the link probably about 20 minutes ago. Like I said, Paul, I've been sleeping all day today after the blood test that I went to. It hit me quite hard. I don't get how Matt Booty still manages to stay there. Do you know what it is? I think Matt Booty is doing what Phil Harrison does. He's got this little black book with all the dirty secrets of all these people. And every time they try to get rid of him or refuse positions, he just opens up the black book and says, would you like this piece of paper that has all your dirty secrets on it? And that's how he's getting it done. Yeah, I don't think Sarah actually knew what was going on. I don't think Sarah knew. Yeah, man, I'm really happy with the CPU, man. Starfield on max settings was generally giving me between 58 and 60 frames. Now I'm getting like 70 frames, and the only difference is essentially the CPU, because apparently, despite the fact that I went and bought this, you can see the RAM in my old PC setup was DDR5 as well, and I just forgot, apparently. So I'm now using dual channel 32 gig from my old PC, and the good news is the price on the one I paid for has doubled. So if it doubles again, then I'll just flog it and get a new graphics card. All in a day's work. But yeah, really happy with the performance from the CPU. Where is this thing? Yeah, I saw this as well. Let's open the link. So this is Sarah Bond. This is savage. 3 hours. I don't mean to laugh, but how can no one be aware? Keep it. But RAM prices are going to go down in a couple years, right? So, yeah, I mean, Sarah clearly had no idea what was going on. This is insane. Then we have Clobril over here. And this is the one this is the statement. I mean, we're going to go through the 4 emails. But this is the one, the part of Asha Sharma's email that I think stood out the most. We will recommit to our core fans and players, those who have invested with us for the past 25 years. We will celebrate our roots with a renewed commitment to Xbox, starting with console, which has shaped who we are.
That's a yes, man. That's why he's still there.
Do you know what? You're not wrong. Jesse Darby, you're not wrong. Thank you for the 2. You're not wrong. But that gives, a lot of hope. Wait, who's recording from Switch 2? What's going on? My cam quality is very poor? Is it? Let me have a look. It shouldn't be. It's 1080p. 60 FPS. And it seems to be in sync of what I'm doing. Let me look at the stream. Can we make... That's 480p. Let's go to the higher res. No, it looks fine to me. You sure it looks bad? So that's a massive statement to me. I think the mobile store is gone. I think they're going to abandon I think the mobile store is pretty much done for. Even though that is really what they bought ABK for. I think there was a meeting between Phil and Satya, and he wanted to push AI into the next gen Xbox, and Phil said, no way, I'm done. I'm going to retire on Monday. But didn't they say that they're going to kind of put AI on hold? I'm not sure. I mean, OBS is at 25k, so maybe you haven't set it to 1440p. There's no drop frames, and everything looks fine to me. I mean, it's picking up my chair, but that's about it. Oh, so Asher is the head of AI. Interesting. Then I think that's probably what happened, Grey Minad. But Phil pretty much took a back seat for a while now, so his retirement was on the cards. Yeah, that's what I read. Vital. Let's just go through this stuff. IGN says Phil Spencer retiring, Sarah Bond out, Matt Booty promoted as Microsoft AI exec. So AI is doomed, like it's gone. AI is finished. With Matt Booty there, his AI is done for Microsoft. Copilot is finished. You got Asher Sharma named new boss. Spencer's retirement is effective on Monday, February the 23rd. Now, we do have the article here. We're just going to go through some of the articles before we get to the email. Let's see, how long is this? Jesus, it's long. Probably not go through the whole thing. Is this covering all the emails? It is covering all the emails. So, I'd much rather look at Windows Central. Phil Spencer retires as Microsoft appoints Asher Sharma, CEO of Microsoft Gaming. Major Xbox leadership reshuffle announced. Xbox enters a new era as Phil Spencer retires and Asher Sharma... Wait, wasn't she the girl that was interviewing Phil Spencer during the business update? She was, right? Or am I mistaken? Microsoft has announced a sweeping reorganization of its gaming division as longtime Xbox leader Phil Spencer retires after nearly 4 decades at the company. I mean, he's got his money. In a pair of internal emails shared today, CEO Satya Nadella confirmed that Asher Sharma, a rising executive with deep experience in consumer platforms, will become executive vice president and CEO of Microsoft Gaming, reporting directly to him. I mean, let's face it, the fact that they've been putting these games on other platforms, it's not working. The games aren't selling outside of Forza Horizon 5 and I guess Sea of Thieves. Nothing else has really sold. Gears flopped. I mean, they've all flopped on other platforms. They just didn't sell. That, like, as of right now, their approach to multi-platform just hasn't yielded the results. Even Doom just did not sell. She's not the same lady? I thought she was. The move marks one of the most significant leadership transitions in Xbox's 25-year history, reshaping the division at a moment when Microsoft is positioning gaming at the center. I think this is probably the right time for them to do what they're going to do and give it one last hurrah, because Microsoft Xbox as a brand has diminished significantly. And, you know, at this point, it's pretty much rock bottom. So, just before the new console arrives, if they're going to do any major changes, now's the time to do it. Sharma, who joined Microsoft 2 years ago after senior roles at Instacart and Meta, will now oversee the entire gaming organization, including Xbox, Bethesda, Activision, Blizzard, and King. Nadella emphasized her track record in scaling global consumer ecosystems and aligning business models to long-term value, skills that he says are essential as Microsoft Gaming enters its next era. Asher has helped build and scale services that reach billions of people, Nadella wrote. She wrote, she brings deep experience building and growing platforms, which will be critical in our gaming business into the next era of growth. Her appointment signals Microsoft's intent to fuse its gaming ambitions with its broader push into AI driven consumer experiences. As part of the restructuring, Matt Booty has been elevated to Executive Vice President and Chief Content Officer, reporting to Sharma. The new role consolidates oversight of nearly 40 studios across Xbox Game Studios, Professor. That's too much for one person. That's just too much for one person. That's been their problem all along. DCG says PlayStation and console gaming is dead? Really? That's random. Booty's expanded remit reflects Microsoft's desire for tighter coordination across its massive first-party portfolio, which includes Halo. Oh, they actually remember that they have Halo. The Elder Scrolls. Oh, don't you start. The Elder Scrolls, Call of Duty, Diablo, World of Warcraft, Candy Crush, and Fallout. Nadella praised Booty's lifelong commitment to games and to the people who make them, noting that he will be central to driving the company's content pipeline. Phil retires after 38 years. In his own email to staff, Spencer confirmed that he informed Nadella last fall of his intention to retire. So, like I said, it was obvious that it was coming because he completely stepped out of the spotlight. Triggering months of succession planning, he described his 30-year career, including 12 years leading Xbox, as privilege of a lifetime. When I walked through Microsoft doors as an intern in 1988, I could never have imagined the products I'd helped build or the extraordinary teams I'd be lucky enough to join, and the amount of amazing opportunities that you kind of let go. Praise Sharma's leadership, calling her genuinely curious, clear, and deeply committed to understanding players and creators, and said he has tremendous confidence in the future of Microsoft gaming under her direction. I think it's really important distinction that he's referring to it now as Microsoft Gaming and not Xbox Gaming. Spencer, I mean, I know it was always Microsoft Gaming was always there, but still, Spencer will remain in an advisory role through the summer to ensure smooth transition. That makes sense. Nadella credited Spencer with transforming Microsoft's gaming business, nearly tripling its size, expanding Xbox across PC, mobile, and cloud, and guiding the company through the landmark acquisitions of Activision Blizzard ZeniMax and Mojang. I've long admired Phil's unwavering commitment to players, creators, and his team, Nadella said. Rumors started circling last summer that Spencer was looking to retire, but those rumors were shut down by Microsoft at the time, likely to preserve a proper announcement. Sarah Bond, who, as of 3 hours ago, was still thinking she had a job. I think she got done dirty. As part of the transition, Xbox President Sarah Bond is leaving the company. Spencer acknowledged her departure in his email, praising her leadership during a defining period of it for Xbox. Bond played a key role in expanding Game Pass, advancing cloud gaming, supporting new hardware launches, and shaping Xbox's platform strategy. Her exit marks another shift in the upper management. Eventually, the board will get rid of Nadella too. I mean, he's still bringing in millions, right? This is Nadella's push for AI, which failed, and the huge backlash for nobody wants AI in their system features. Nadella should be the one retired. Or maybe. We had PlayStation is dead news earlier, and now this. I mean, Microsoft just can't take a win. This is another... Oh, wait, no, it's not. Why is this so long? Oh, just millions of comments. Despite the leadership overhaul, Nadella stressed that Microsoft remains long on gaming and fully committed to Xbox's hardware roadmap, first-party content, and ecosystem strategy. He highlighted Xbox's reach over 500 million monthly active users. I mean, hasn't it been like 500 million for like 2 years now? Maybe, 505 or something? Like, there's been zero growth in 2 years on that number. Maybe it's about time that they started showing some growth. He also framed gaming as foundational to Microsoft's consumer ambitions, drawing a line from flight simulators pre-Windows origins to AI-accelerated future the company is now building toward. We have extraordinary creative talent across the studios and a global platform that is second to none, Nadella wrote. I'm excited for how we will capture the opportunity ahead and define what comes next. I mean, it could very well be, Jesse. The appointment, a new era begins. Appointment of Sharma, the elevation of Booty, and the retirement of Spencer collectively mark a generational shift for Xbox. The division enters its next chapter with new leadership. For Spencer, the legacy is unmistakable. He rebuilt Xbox's culture, expanded its reach, and helped redefine what a gaming platform could be. He also saved Xbox, right? No matter what anyone wants to say about Phil Spencer, if he didn't step in and do the radical changes that he did, Xbox One would have been the last Xbox we would have had. I think at that point they would have just given... I mean, we've already seen confirmations that they were ready to finish Xbox, and Phil Spencer stopped that. So, you know, without Phil Spencer, we wouldn't have seen the Series S and X or the next Xbox that's around the corner. So, I know a lot of people are saying that Phil is bad and this, but in many, you know, you can't argue that he did save Xbox from being completely and utterly obliterated. What do you think about Spencer's retirement and Xbox shakeup? There is a lot to digest here, so we're curious to think. Drop us a comment. Not gonna bother with that. There's a Verge article, but I'm gonna go to the emails next. Mate, no one likes Metric or Phil Harrison. This doesn't mean anything. What's the point of saving something if you completely change it? Because the old system didn't work. The old system just did not work. Bugs. For Microsoft, it wasn't working. So they had to change. I'm not so sure, Maxine. I actually think we could be in for a new thing. Let's see what the emails actually say, right? Let's go through the emails. Because we've got... that's Matt Booty's. Should we do Phil Spencer's one first? We've got Philly's, we've got Matt's, we've got Nadella, and I'll leave Asha Sharma for last. Alright, subject. A new chapter for Microsoft Gaming. When I walked through the Microsoft doors as an intern in June of 1988, I could never have imagined the products I'd helped build, the players and customers we'd serve, or the extraordinary teams I'd be lucky enough to join. It's been an epic ride and truly the privilege of a lifetime. Last fall, I shared with Satya that I was thinking about stepping back and starting the next chapter of my life. Basically retirement, really. That guy's got enough money to live off. From that moment, we aligned on approaching this transition with intention, ensuring stability and strengthening the foundation we've built. So that could still mean that they're going to keep the ecosystem up and running. Xbox has always been more than a business. It's a vibrant community of players, creators, and teams who care deeply about what we build and how we build it, and it deserves a thoughtful, deliberate plan for the road ahead. Today marks an exciting new chapter for Microsoft Gaming as Asha Sharma steps into the role of CEO, and I want to be the first to welcome her to this incredible team. Working with her over the past several months has given me tremendous confidence. She brings genuine curiosity, clarity, and deep commitment to understanding players, creators, and the decisions that shape our future. We know this is an important moment for our fans, partners, and team, and we're committed to getting it right. I'll remain in an advisory role through the summer to support a smooth handoff. I'm also grateful for the strength of our studios organization. Matt Booty and our studios teams continue to build an incredible portfolio, and I have full confidence in the leadership and creative momentum across our global studios. I want to congratulate Matt on his promotion to EVP and Chief Content Officer. As part of this transition, Sarah Bond has decided to leave Microsoft to begin a new chapter. Jesse, I know you said that they offered her the CEO role. I think they didn't. I think she wanted it and she felt like she was next in line for it, and they offered it to someone else and she just wasn't happy with that. That's what this is starting to sound like. Sarah has been instrumental during a defining period for Xbox, shaping our platform strategy, expanding Game Pass and cloud gaming, supporting new hardware launches, and guiding some of the most significant moments in our history. I'm grateful for her partnership and the impact she's had, and I wish her the very best in what comes next. It's going to be interesting to see what this means for, like, potentially a native handheld, right? Are they going to revisit that now? Because a lot of people want that, as opposed to the PC that we have right now with the Xbox LIX. Most of all, to everyone in Microsoft Gaming, I want to say thank you. I've learned so much from this team and community, growing alongside you and continually inspired by the creativity, courage, and care you bring to the players, creators, and to one another every day. I'm incredibly proud of what we've built over the last 25 years, and I have complete confidence in all of you and in opportunities ahead. I'll be cheering you on in this next chapter as Xbox's proudest fan and player. Phil, Xbox Live P3. The mobile store, that's coming this year, right? Google appealed against it, and so the courts gave them a year last year to get their organization in shape. So Google basically deferred it by a year for whatever reason, and so it was on hold for a year, but it'll be coming later this year. It's nothing. I mean, Microsoft won that, and Sarah got her way, but the court said you have to wait. Nothing Sarah can do at that point. So she did her part. She got the store. It's there. But Google threw a spanner in the works and said they need time to get everything done and, you know, being a big organization and big structure. They requested 12 months and the courts granted it. Yeah, the problem is that all games everywhere isn't working. In my opinion. It's unknown, you know, if, you know, when you're selling 300,000 copies of a game, is your development cost being covered with that 300,000 copies being sold on another platform? It's you know, that's something that internally they have to think. Matt Booty, I read Phil's note with much gratitude. He has been a steady champion for game creators and our studio teams, and I've learned so much from his leadership over the years. All our games have benefited from his foundational support. I'm also grateful to Satya for his ongoing commitment to gaming and holding a vision of how it can connect back to the larger company. Looking forward, I'm excited to partner with Asha as our next CEO. Our first conversation centered on her commitment to making great games and the role that plays in our overall success. She asks questions, pushes for clarity, and wants our choices grounded in player and developer needs. That mindset matters as the industry around us is changing quickly, how players engage, how games are made, how business models and platforms evolve. We have good reasons to believe in what's ahead. This organization and its franchises have navigated change for decades, and our strength comes from teams who know how to adapt and keep delivering. That confidence is grounded in a strong pipeline of established franchises, new bets we believe in, and clear player demand for what we are building. My focus is on supporting the teams and leaders we have in place and creating the conditions for them to do their best work. To be clear, there are no organizational changes underway for our studios. Thanks for everything you do for our players. We've got Satya's email next. Everything everywhere only works if those games are making money. Exactly. That's what I'm saying, Gorsty. That's the point I'm making. Hey guys, don't forget to leave a like, and if you're new to the channel, subscribe. I really appreciate it. It means a lot. Please do it. But yeah, that's exactly what I mean, Gorsty. That's the exact point I'm making. There's 0 point speculating. Just wait for official news. Hey, we can speculate, right? There's nothing wrong with speculating. You got King David saying it's going to be OEM. It's not going to be branded Xbox console anymore. I don't think so. Got to get that emergency stream out. Damn straight, DV Mill. Satya Nadella, gaming has been part of Microsoft from the start. Flight Simulator shipped before Windows, and you can practically ray trace a line from DirectX in the 90s to the accelerated compute era we're in today. As we celebrate Xbox's 25th year, the opportunity and innovation agenda in front of us is expensive. Today we reach over 500 million monthly active users, are a top publisher across all platforms, and continue to innovate across gaming hardware, content, and community in service of creators and players everywhere. I am long on gaming and its role at the center of our consumer ambition, and as we look ahead, I'm excited to share that Asha Sharma will become Executive Vice President and CEO Microsoft Gaming, reporting to me. Over the last 2 years at Microsoft and previously as COO at Interscar and Vice President at Meta, Asha helped build and scale services that reach billions of people and support thriving consumer and developer ecosystems. I actually read something last night talking about how Meta is abandoning VR. I only saw the headline. I was really tired and I had to go bed early because I had a blood test this morning. Does anyone know if there's any truth to that? She brings deep experience building and growth platforms, aligning business models to long-term value, and operating at global scale, which will be critical in leading our gaming business into its next era of growth. Matt Botte will become Executive Vice President and Chief Content Officer, reporting to Asha. Matt's career reflects a long commitment to games and to the people who make them. Under his leadership, Microsoft Gaming has grown to span nearly 40 studios across Xbox, Bethesda, Activision, Blizzardo, and King, which are home to beloved franchises including Halo, Elder Scrolls, World of Warcraft, Diablo, Candy Crush, and Fallout. And I forgot Candy Crush existed. Together, Asha and Matt have the right combination of consumer product leadership and gaming depth to push out. And this is pure PR speak. Last year, Phil made the decision to retire from the company over 38 years, including 12 years of leadership. Phil helped transform, yada, yada, yada. This is all part of what Phil pretty much said. He will continue to work for a smooth transition. We have extraordinary creative talent across the studios, global platform that is second to none. Excited about what we will capture the opportunity ahead and define what comes next while staying grounded in what players and creators value. Alright, so now we come to Asha. They're abandoning the metaverse. It's been dead for a while, I think. Yeah, but I heard like they're kind of like abandoning the whole VR side of things as well, like largely abandoning it entirely, which is pretty insane. Anyway, Asha Sharma, dear team, today I begin my role as CEO of Microsoft Gaming. I feel two things at once: humility and urgency. Humility because this team has built something extraordinary over decades. Urgency because gaming is in a period of rapid change and we need to move with clarity and conviction. I am stepping into work shaped by generations of artists, engineers, designers, writers, musicians, operators, and more who create worlds that have brought joy and deep personal meaning to hundreds of millions of players. The level of craft here is exceptional, and it is amplified by Xbox, which was founded in the belief that the power of games connect people and push the industry forward. Thank you to Phil for his leadership and to every studio platform operations team that built this foundation. We are stewards of some of the most loved stories and characters in entertainment and bring players and creators together around the fun and community of gaming in entirely new ways. My first job is simple: understand what makes this work and protect it. That's easy. Put Xbox customers first and don't treat them like third class citizens like they have been for the past 2 years now, maybe 3. So that's number one. That starts with 3 commitments. First, great games. I mean, yeah, that's always a good thing, right? Everything begins here. We must have great games beloved by players before we do anything. Unforgettable characters, stories that make us feel, innovative gameplay, and creative excellence. We will empower our studios, invest in iconic franchises. Hey, maybe Perfect Dogs might make a return. Who knows? Alright, don't shoot the messenger. I'm just speculating. And back bold new ideas. So I guess maybe Star Trek? We will take risks. That's interesting, especially in this climate. We will enter new categories and markets where we can add real value, grounded in what players care about most. Waifus. I promoted Matt Booty in honor of his commitment. He understands the craft and the challenges of building great games, has led teams that deliver award-winning work, and has earned the trust of game developers across the industry. The second, the return of Xbox. We will commit to our core Xbox fans and players, those who have invested with us for the past 25 years, and to the developers who build the expansive universes and experiences that are embraced by players across the world. We will celebrate our roots with a renewed commitment to Xbox, starting with console, which has shaped who we are. It connects us to the players and fans who invest in Xbox, and to the developers who build ambitious experiences for it. Gaming now lives across devices, not within the limits of a single piece of hardware. As we expand across PC, mobile, and cloud, Xbox should feel seamless, instant, and worthy of the communities we serve. We will break down barriers so developers can build once and reach players everywhere without compromise. So this still confirms that the next Xbox will be pretty much a kind of like a PC. Third, future of play. This is the one that I had no idea what they meant. We are witnessing the reinvention of play. To meet the moment, we will invent new business models and new ways to play by leaning into what we already have. Iconic teams, characters, and worlds that people love. But we will not treat those worlds as static IP to milk and monetize. We will build a shared platform and tools that empower developers and players to create and share their own stories. Are they talking about stuff like Forge, maybe? That's what makes sense to that. As monetization and AI evolve and influence this future, we will not chase short-term efficiency or flood our ecosystem with soulless AI slop. Games are and always will be art, crafted by humans and created with most innovative technology provided by us. So, in terms of AI, they're not saying they're not going to use it entirely, but they're not going to take away the stuff that are crafted by people. It looks like they want to do how AI should be used, which is assisting development, not taking over development, which is a good thing. That's how it should be. That's how it should be anyway. The next 25 years belong to the teams who dare to build something surprising, something no one else is willing to try, and have the patience to see it through. We have done this before, and I am here to help us do it again. I want to return to the renegade spirit that built Xbox in the first place, the Xbox OG and the 360 era. It will require us to relentlessly question everything, revisit processes. That's interesting. The revisit processes, so going multiplat. Protect what works, and be brave enough to change what does not. Thank you for welcoming me into this journey. Asher, and that's the email from Asher. Now, what I'm taking from that is it looks like the whole ecosystem is here to stay. It would be silly to get rid of that now, honestly. Personally, I kind of like it, as you know, my personal self. In terms of AI, they're clearly turning around and openly saying that, you know, it's not going to replace jobs. I'll believe that when I see it, but you know, at least the commitment there is nice. What's interesting with the revisit processes, protect what works and be brave enough to change what does not. Maybe I don't think they're going to stop releasing games multiplat, but I think they are going. There's a real possibility there that they could time gate the games going forward. You know, give them like a year or 18 months before they go to other platforms. You know, that way making those that buy an Xbox console the first way to play it. The mix of you won't own anything and be happy and into go woke or go broke. There's nothing here about wokeism though. Is this a Don Matrix situation or not? I don't see this as a Don Matrix situation, no. I see this as, you know, a unique way to restart. It's very interesting. I mean, she's clearly coming in, making bold statements, which some of the stuff I'm reading I'm liking. You know, making great games, so they're not just gonna push out games just for the sake of Game Pass. You know, if the game isn't ready to come out, they're gonna put the brakes on. Something they should have done with Forza Motorsport, right? Because clearly Forza Motorsport definitely needed more time in the oven. It needed more time baking, and we all saw the consequences of pushing that out early. The return of Xbox is, I think, really important. That's a massive statement. We'll see what that means in the coming months when we see her first action. Because until she turns around and makes a proper, you know, makes her first move, her first statement, we won't really know. But if she's saying she wants to put Xbox fans first, and going completely multiplat day and date isn't putting Xbox fans first. Satya won't go because he's still making millions and billions for Microsoft, especially through AI. I still think the next console's coming out. There's nothing here indicating that they're not going to release another console. They even spoke about other consoles, right, uh, with the upcoming consoles, and also committed to another 25 years. Obviously, that's subject to change. 25 years is a long time, and committing to anything like that is ludicrous. But you know, I think there's a lot going on here. A lot of it is PR fluff. A lot of it is. But some of it is really good. And we'll see what it means in the coming months. The whole revisit processes and change what does not work. It'll be interesting to see what changes are going to come. They have a deal with AMD, so that console is coming. Whether people want to believe it or not, that console is coming. They've got a deal agreement contract with AMD, so that's coming. There's nothing here to say that that's not coming, and nothing to indicate that that's going away. I mean, just look at what Sony's doing with their new patent. Essentially, what we discussed this on Thursday, right? Essentially, what they're doing with flight simulator. But the key difference being that you still need to authenticate with a PlayStation console. You can't just do it over the cloud or with a TV or anything else. It still needs the console to authenticate. To be fair, the last month Microsoft lost over 12% of its market cap under the Bullfrog's leadership. A lot of people lost a lot of money due to AI, right? But Microsoft lost big because a lot of the investors basically are starting to get concerned that the massive amount of investment that is going into AI isn't having a return of interest or a big enough return of interest. And that's what made them lose. I think it was 500 billion overnight, which was massive in terms of stock price, market cap. That was insane. 500 billion overnight that's alarm bells, man. But the reality is, AI isn't really doing much at the moment other than creating pandas that can dance and shake or make stupid shorts and fake stuff. I mean, that's what it's used for most. We haven't really seen any form of technological advancement in terms of benefits that's going to help civilization at all. And that's really what it was supposed to do, and we're not really seeing that. We're only seeing it for mundane things like read an article and summarize it for me and that sort of stuff. Or people are using it as a way to manage their planners by getting rid of their assistant. They're just creating a seed assistant by AI to do all that work for them. So all AI has done so far, for the most part, is lose jobs. What games have they ever taken away from people? You see? That's what I'm saying, Steve. Where is the comment about recommitting? Is it up here? We will recommit to our core Xbox fans and players. I think that's a big statement. Who have invested with us for the past 25 years. I think a lot of Xbox fans in general have felt dismayed, betrayed, left out, kind of pushed aside, treated as second-class citizens. And that's not been a great feeling this generation. And for the most part, Xbox fans, have a right to feel that way. Hey, Concord was amazing. It lasted 14 days, didn't it? Or was it 12? Either way, it broke records. Did Highguard last longer than Concord? Is Highguard even still playable? I mean, we do use machine learning for science and research, but those things aren't flashy enough for news articles. We do. But has there really been any advancement in AI? Has AI really pushed the needle, is what I'm saying, in what we're doing. Honor to Phil Dominus Maximus Aurelius Spencer for his name. Welcome our new Empress of Xbox, Asha, Innovatrix Imperia AI Sharma. But she said she doesn't want AI. Slop. Architect of Green Age, first of her name. Leaf, clearly Sony had some bad news yesterday, which I was finally getting ready to sit down and make a video on, and then Xbox came and said, hey, stop right there. Hold my beer. We're not going to get done up by PlayStation. If they can give bad news, we can beat that news. And so they gave me this one. Microsoft's timing and ability to completely overshadow anything that's bad news, either from Nintendo or PlayStation, has to be studied at some point. It has to be. There is their ability to just turn around and say, hey, those guys have got bad news, but check out our news. It seems to be the case, right? Il Raytito. But honestly, I think Xbox needed a shakeup. I think it stagnated under the current leadership. It wasn't really moving in any direction. It kind of flatlined. And I think the overall excitement, the overall interest in Xbox as a brand completely stagnated. I mean, I think everyone could see that. Maybe this is the shakeup that was needed. And if she can bring the excitement of Xbox back to the gamers, that's great. What you want is good competition. If you have good competition, both sides are trying to outdo each other. That's great for the consumer, because at that point, the consumer gets great games from all sides, right? Hasn't the US government backtrack on powering these? That's currently that's the lot. I heard that. Basically, the US president basically said that if they can't prove any real innovations with AI, then they're basically not going to pay their electric bills. Do you know what, Steve? All this time I was asking you to set me up with an interview with your friend. How many times? And not once did you come through for me, man. And now that the guy is retired, not once did you come through for me. Fable, Beast of Reincarnation, Forza Horizon 6, and Gears E-Day, plenty to be excited about. No. I'm not talking about the games themselves, right? I'm talking about the overall excitement for Xbox as a brand. It's just not there. And you can see that through whether you're looking at social media or whether you're looking on TV or adverts or anywhere. The excitement or interest in the brand has diminished. I couldn't do it to him. I'm his friend, not his enemy. Come on, man. Wait, is she up? No, she's sleeping. Good. But it is. I think it needs that excitement, and I think if they start kind of gating the releases by making it 1 year or 2 year, or just turn around to Sony and say, look, this is the situation. If you want our games, you need to start giving us something in return. And if Sony says we're not going to give you jack shit, which is what they're currently saying right now, outside of live service, Microsoft should just turn around and say, right. Or Asher should turn around and say, right, if that's how you want it, then we're just going to stop production on all PlayStation games. Completely through Bethesda, everything. And then see how Sony likes it. Because once Microsoft pulls the plug, Sony has no games. Right? And then if Microsoft decides to go even more evil and start showing the true nature of Microsoft, they can really shake the industry up. I'm not saying that that's going to happen. It is something that I would personally do. But, these companies like money. They're not petty like me in this degree. I think I already answered that point, Lost Guardian. I guarantee that's what Booty wants to do. Oh, Booty definitely wants to do that. 100%. He definitely wants to do that. So it's going to be interesting to see how this all develops over the next few months. And I think her first real act is going to define how she moves forward and how everything's going to be. Have you seen Sarah Bond LinkedIn post? I have. That was dirty. I mean, I think I feel sorry for Sarah because she didn't deserve. I don't even think she knew. I don't even think she knew. I think she found out the hard way. You don't make a post like this 3 hours before only to be announce you're leaving. You know, you don't do that, man. That doesn't happen. At least Phil retiring seems more graceful than Jim Ryan. No, I still say Jim got booted. Every game will be AI? No. Bots are angry at you because you was happy of the change of leadership? Why? I mean, it was obvious that Phil pretty much went into, you know, he pretty much went down tools from last year. We never saw Phil at all. He went into pretty much complete silence. And Sarah didn't say much either, really, over it. She's been doing, to be fair, she's been doing all the interviews, more or less. She's been out there. So we've seen more of Sarah than we have of Phil. Take it easy, Jesse. Have fun, dude. I mean, Phil, in my opinion, did save Xbox. There's no denying that. But I think at this point, you know, he's past. He's done. He's done everything that he can do. I don't think there's anything more in Phil's wheelhouse that he can do to push it forward. I think in terms of innovation and ideas, I think he's done. And the fact that we've seen nothing from Phil in terms of anything over the past year pretty much speaks to that. I am too. Because it's what she said here, right? First, great games. Everything begins here. So making great games is, you know, paramount to a good platform. Second, return of Xbox. We will recommit to our core Xbox fans. And I think that's really important. Because the fact is, the core Xbox fans have been felt that they have been betrayed. Hard done by. You know, treated as second-class citizens. So recommitting to your core Xbox fan base and players, I think, is definitely important. You want to win those people back. You want to show those people that, you know, they didn't make a mistake. So, you know, this is what you want to hear in terms of change. Now, the point that someone else said, I think it was Steve, maybe not, saying you're going to do something and actually doing something is two completely different things. So we need to wait and see what's going to happen. And the third future of play, right? The next 25 years, is it here? I want to return to the renegade spirit that built Xbox in the first place. So, you know, that fiery third-party deals, exclusivity. I don't really see them doing any exclusivity personally. But who knows? Maybe they'll start doing third-party exclusive deals. And their first-party games will maybe go after a year or 2 years. Which I think a lot of Xbox fans, the core Xbox fans, will be happy with. Yeah, timed exclusives. I mean, for the most part, that's what Sony is doing with their third party as well, right? So, you know, Kenna will appear on Xbox. The Silent Hill Town, whatever it's called, will appear on Xbox at some point. No AI slot proceeds to use AI to write email. Oh, look, Soul's back. He never left, though. How can he be back? How's it going, Chille? I honestly don't think they'll go back to exclusives in any way. I think they have to. I think if they want the brand to continue, I think they'll more or less have to. Not like full exclusivity. I don't think they're ever going to go full exclusive. That's a thing of the past. But I do think they'll do timed exclusivity. I think they'll go back to it. Games like Gears E-Day, literally no one cares about, so they'll probably port that onto the Switch and make it exclusive there. Only platform that you can play Gears E-Day is on the Switch too. Literally no one cares about that game at all. So, you know, there's that. Sarah just posted about 10 minutes ago on LinkedIn. Let's see if I can find it. Put my drink aside. You know, I've been ill all day today. I didn't even do my Microsoft rewards. I've been sleeping all day. For my lose. I missed out. What a shame. Yeah, I didn't do any. Whoops. I missed out on Friday. No max points for Game Pass weekly streaks. No. There is a lot of people named Sarah Bond. Alright, I found you. What did she post? Alright, here we go. I'm not going to show it on screen because it's got my personal details there on the left and I don't know how to get it away. So I'll just read what it says here. Sharing with gratitude the note I sent to my team today. Grateful to our players, developers, partners, and team forever and fan of Xbox. Hi team, I know there's a lot of news to take in today. I'm incredibly proud of what we've built together over the past 8+ years. PC and cloud gaming are growing faster than ever. Our next console is well underway, and together we've helped lay the foundation for more open gaming platform that spans devices and reaches players around the world. When we announced our intention to acquire ABK in 2022, I committed to helping Xbox lead through what would be a critical period of change. Over the past 4 years, we've navigated that moment together and positioned the business for what comes next. We took on some of the biggest challenges this organization has ever faced and did it as one team. With that, I've decided this is the right time for me to take my step, both personally and professionally. We're living through a transformative technological era that will shape the next generation of our industry, and I'm energized by what's ahead. This moment also presents a unique opportunity for fresh eyes and new leadership to guide the team into its next chapter. I've had the privilege of spending time with Asha over the last few weeks as we've planned for this transition, and I've seen firsthand her deep commitment to our players, developers, and brand. I mean, we've seen nothing yet, so still all PR talk. She brings deep technology and commerce experience along with a strong track record of building and scaling platforms that the world uses. Xbox deserves this. I'm excited to see her lead this next chapter for our team. I'll remain as a special advisor to Asha to help ensure a smooth transition and set the organization up for continued success. I want to thank Phil for his mentorship and friendship over the years. He's been a consistent champion of this business and the people who make it what it is. And I've learned a great deal from what he leads through both opportunity and challenge. I'm grateful for his trust and support throughout my time and team. I also want to thank Satya for his sponsorship and support throughout my time at Microsoft. As I prepare to sign off, I've been reflecting on 3 simple questions I've tried to use to guide my days. Did I bring my best? Did I help someone else succeed? Did I do my best work? I hope the answer has been yes for many of you. I've been privileged to work alongside this team. Always, Sarah. She posted she's working on PlayStation.
Did if Bond quit or got fired?
I think she quit. She quit, so thank you for the 2. But she quit. Definitely quit. I think she wanted a particular role. It wasn't coming and she just stepped down. I don't think she even knew what was happening. And when she saw that a role probably was given to someone else, that was pretty much her saying, okay, I'm done. But I think that Asha's email raises some real hope that the Microsoft of old, though it might not fully re-emerge as people are hoping, I think there's going to be big changes and hopefully it will be for the betterment of Xbox fans. Yeah, I'd agree with that, Dachi. It is crazy. There's a lot of news going about right now. At least it gives me a couple of videos worth of stuff to write up, but still. It's your time. I mean, what do you guys think? Interesting. Well, at least she gained about 4,000 followers in the time I've started to stream and what she has now, which is interesting. But you have this over here. Welcome to Team Xbox. We're excited about what we'll build together. Should bring the Blade dashboard. Now, the return of Xbox, talking about respecting the core player base and what it was good, and I was, I said that, she could be referring to the days of the 360, and now she's referencing the Blade dashboard. Would people be happy with a Blade, the 360 Blade dashboard, or something akin to that? Brian, I think it was. I think overall Xbox as a brand just stagnated. It wasn't, the hype for it just wasn't there. And clearly it needed a shake-up. And I think it got it. Man, King Fresh is really trying to defend Bluepoint's closure, saying that PlayStation executives had no fault. That dashboard wasn't terrible. See, I think there's a difference with that because on PC you can just play games at whatever your PC is powerful as. On the console, the experience has been hampered. So I think a lot of people do care because the experience needs to be right, and it hasn't been. They need to allow me to remove all the tiles on my dashboard so I can see my background. You see, people said I was crazy for suggesting that, David. But here we go, someone who's, who agrees with me. I'm not crazy after all. Why was Phil Spencer annoying? They don't give a crap about me. I mean, that's basically how it felt like for a long time, so. And I think that's why they needed to change up. No, Steve, I get that. I'm just saying, you're looking at the perspective from PC. For those that don't have a powerful PC, they only have a console and they're buying the Xbox to experience gaming, in the best possible way. And for them, they're getting shafted. And so they have every right to not be happy. I mean, if I was Xbox personally, I would, like, this is just me, right? This doesn't have to be anyone else. I would make every game that Microsoft releases exclusive to the Xbox console only, and then release it on PC and other platforms a year to 2 years later. If people want to play it, you buy an Xbox. That's what I would do. But I'm not Microsoft, so we won't get that. But that would be what I would do personally. But the shake-up is definitely going to be interesting, and when we get the first statement the first action from Asha Sharma, I think that's when we're going to see where this train goes. Of course you would. The 500 million active users is a nice number, but what does it mean in terms of revenue? Yeah, I know, Gorsty. I'm just saying what I would do as a big change. Watch the whole company collapse after this? No. Why would the company collapse? What, you mean from the fan base that was calling her a monkey and stuff? Yeah, I don't think the PlayStation fans really want her. They made it perfectly clear that they didn't like her by racially abusing her. We don't even. I wouldn't. I wouldn't. If I was her, I would not even step into that room. You can have single player games exclusive for Xbox for a year, but the deal is. No, Chille, I agree with that. It's the single player ones that should stay exclusive. Multiplayer games, in my opinion, should be multi-platform always, all platforms. It just doesn't make sense not to make multi-platform games multi-platform. Sorry, multiplayer games multi-platform, because you know, you want as many players jumping into that game as possible to maintain a healthy player base. Restricting it to one audience just isn't enough. Xbox Game Pass is stuck around 34 to. I'm not sure, Commander. They haven't really said any numbers, but the only thing we have is the gains that they've been getting, and those gains would put them closer to 40 million, maybe even more. But we don't know what they've lost, so there's no point in speculating what the numbers for Game Pass is. Yeah, I don't like that at all, Steve. I think that's stupid, and that should not be the case. I get not wanting to play with the PC crowd because they cheat a lot for multiplayer. So having a toggle to be console only and everyone, I get. That one I get. But to exclude consoles doesn't make sense. I'll never say boo to exclusives. If the game is a first party game, it should be exclusive. I mean, Game Pass is bringing in over $5 billion, so I don't see them getting rid of that anytime soon. Game Pass is bringing. I mean, when Game Pass doesn't bring any money in, then it'll be gone. But for now, it's bringing in what, over $5 billion. Ain't no one gonna throw away $5 billion. It's just not happening. No matter how much you want it or how much you wish for it. I think in terms of profit, they're making probably around 3.5 billion. 3.5 billion in profit. Because back then, Phil said it costs 1 billion to upkeep a Game Pass, and so maybe they added an extra 500 million. I mean, at most, I could see it going to 2 billion, maybe. So you're looking about 3.5 billion in profit. That's pretty good. $5 billion is revenue, but based on what Phil said of the cost, 3 billion is still a good amount of profit. But none of that passes on to the studios, right? And that's why they had to, they need to release games on other platforms to make up the profit margins. Because yes, the Xbox customers are playing it on Game Pass, but that revenue share doesn't pass on to the studios. So they need to sell those games in order to make their P&L. Hence why they started pushing to PC and other platforms in order to hit those margins. And we know that especially with one of the recent games coming, where they said they don't have a choice because they need to hit 30%. I think it was the Outer Worlds 2. Is Xbox officially dead now? No! Not at all. I do like the paradigm shift, though. A sweet, sweet reference to Final Fantasy 13. I like it, Brian. I like it. It was also in 10.2 as well, right? How's it flopped, Awaken? Do you have sales numbers? Plus, people buy games off of Game Pass. I mean, I buy some. I buy games off, the store. But my buy ratio of something I'm playing on Game Pass to something that's not on Game Pass is drastically different. Yeah, they do not, whole grain. They do not. Yeah, but you're rich. We're not all loaded. We'll pay for a subscription to not have to buy games. Take it easy, Great Bernard. But yeah, that's my view on this. I think try it before you buy it. I just try and play and win and then uninstall. Success. If they get rid of Game Pass, which I don't care if they do, but if they did get rid of Game Pass, then I'll just buy the games. That's fine. But as long as Game Pass exists, I've got no reason to buy them. I'm not the type of person that wants to replay a game. I just don't do that. I play it once, I finish it, and I'm done. If it's a game that I really, really, really like, then I'll buy it. Because there's a chance it could come off Game Pass. You own 72 Ubisoft games. Where's Banisher? Where's Banisher? What have you done to him? I just bought Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii off of Game Pass. Cool beans. I'm not saying no one does it. I'm just saying, like, for me personally, where I used to buy about 10, 15 games a year on Xbox, like major titles, I don't do that anymore because if they're on Game Pass, I just play them on Game Pass. I'm paying for the subscription. Now, if the game comes off Game Pass while I'm playing it, then I'll buy it. Like, if a third-party game goes on there and I'm playing it and it comes off, while I'm still playing it, then I'll go and buy it, no problem at all. But for me, if it's on Game Pass, I'm paying my subscription, I've got no reason to buy it. Unless they release, like, a super cool collector's edition, like Indiana Jones did with the whole global thing that you could open up and it's really damn cool. Or the Starfield, which came with the Chrono Watch and stuff. That sort of stuff, I'll pay big bucks for and I'll buy it. But other than that, that's it really. Based on what Asher said, that doesn't seem to be the case. It looks like they want to continue forward with not just this console, but future ones as well. And they've said over here, the next 25 years will belong to the teams who dare to build something surprising, something no one else is willing to try and have the patience to see it through. We have done this before, and I am here to help us do it again. I want to return to the renegade spirit that built Xbox in the first place. I'm not watching anything for Resident Evil Requiem. I know I'm going to buy it, so there's no point. Xbox's revenue is a 75-25 split. Yeah, but when their growth is 0 or -1, they're not buying enough. When you've got 0 growth in game sales from year on year, they're not buying enough. You need growth. Every business needs growth. So that 75-25 doesn't really mean anything in the grand scheme of things if there's no growth. I kind of want to be surprised by Resident Evil Requiem. Hey, I've heard great things about Crimson Desert. I've only heard one person say that they were disappointed with the console performance, but everyone else is saying it's good and it's, you know, it's thing. I mean, Nintendo has a, what, 10% growth? Sony has what? Something similar in terms of growth. So, other platforms they're still selling. Xbox needs better incentives for Game Pass. No, it's not that it needs better incentives for Game Pass. It needs to advertise Game Pass. They need to advertise Game Pass. Like I said, where I used to work, which is a digital marketing agency, so many people that I spoke to who were gamers in general, most of them were PC gamers, had no idea what Game Pass was. They didn't even know of the service. They're really casual gamers, and Microsoft has done a really bad job in reaching that audience to try and get those audience on board. You know, you've got the core audience, and they don't need advertising. They already know what Game Pass is. But Microsoft has done a really bad job with advertising what that service is and what it brings. And, yeah, that's the people they need to reach, and they have done a poor job of that. Otherwise, they'd have thing. I think they'd have way more subscriptions now. What's 60 plus for a console? That's just a place in terms of numbers, yeah. In terms of people buying consoles, they're stuck on around 200 million. It doesn't really exceed 200 million. You don't really count Nintendo because their consoles span like 3 generations before they release a new one. So it becomes really difficult to see where they fit in. I mean, considering, yeah, Woodpit, exactly. You've got the ad tiers for those, especially like Amazon Prime that has ad tiers. They have adverts in it, really annoying, but they should be advertising on those. But advertising costs money. I mean, Phil wanted to quit from last year, so it makes sense. So I think this shakeup is good. I think the shakeup that's happening now is definitely going to be a good thing, and we'll see what it means for Xbox in the coming months. I don't think we're going to see anything drastic until then. Maybe the summer showcase, we'll see some big changes. Who knows? I think, if anything, that's going to be where we're going to see any real impactful changes at the summer showcase. I don't really see anything happening before then. They're not just going to stop development on current SKUs. That would be a waste of money. Now, I don't think he was ill. I just think I think he probably was on Ozempic. It's crazy how Ozempic works for some people but doesn't work for others. So Kid Smooth says Xbox is officially dead. Jay Fonzarelli said, anyone really believe Phil and Sarah decided to leave on a random ass Friday afternoon? They're not leaving on a random ass Friday afternoon. They're leaving. Well, they've announced their departure, but they're here throughout the whole summer. And Phil was pretty much done by last year anyway. I did find it a bit strange that nah, he's not awakened. That's just your fanboy self-talking. It's coming out more and more. But you claim not to be a fanboy, right? But you clearly are a fanboy. Almost like you're pretty much like King Thrash. He says he's not a fanboy, but I think everyone knows you're a fanboy. I did find it interesting that Satya Nadella's email did not have a single mention about Sarah Bond. Not one. Matt, he spoke about Matt, he spoke about Phil, spoke about Asher, but did not say anything about Sarah. Kind of rude, man. That's kind of cruel. That did stand out for me. I say Gorsty. I see him. But you got to give it to Sony. They did time their Blue Point. They did plan their Blue Point news perfectly to get completely overshadowed by the Xbox One. Man, that dumbass Nintendo god Xbox is officially dead. Next gen Xbox console is definitely up in the air now. I mean, it's still coming. Man, that Nintendo god, I think, is probably the worst out of all of them. I actually think he's worse than the likes of like Tripster and Generic Eric. That guy is so delusionally mental. He needs help. Why am I sad? Which part of me is sad, Darren? He's some twat from the. He's a really toxic Switch fan. Which part of me is sad, Darren? I'm saying this is probably a good thing. Yeah, Woodpit, that makes. I mean, that's what I think the general consensus is saying at the moment. People are saying Phil destroyed the Xbox brand, but he saved Xbox. No, he doesn't. But it's going to be interesting to see what Asher does. I mean, we can't. There's nothing else to really say about it. Both Game Pass and PSN will increase price this year. It's inevitable. I'm not sure if Game Pass is going to go up again. I think it's gone up enough. PSN will probably go up though, considering the CFO from Sony pretty much said we're going to increase the price. So that's probably going to happen. They were actually talking about it back in 2016, Cesano. There's actually a video from 2016 that, the first Play Anywhere trailer that they had at E3 in 2016. So it's been a while since Play Anywhere has been introduced. Pretty much when they started the whole PC porting stuff. I feel the way she's coming off, Xbox will have exclusives again, but they will be timed. Dark Lord, that's exactly what I think. That is exactly what I think. I think they're going to be timed exclusives. And you may even see third-party timed exclusivity as well. We'll get the exact opposite. What can I say? Any other thoughts, folks? It's past midnight. I know this was a impromptu stream. Still got a couple of videos to make. We already see third-party timed exclusivity with a lot of Game Pass games. Do we, though? Only indies, right? Hey, look. I'll say it when you send me a graphics card. I gotta get something in return. Or maybe 50 gifted members. I'll take that as well. You ain't getting a zilch out of me until then. Yeah, I'm just thinking, yeah, that's what I mean. It's mostly indies vital, but I'm thinking that they're going to probably make their first party games timed exclusive. And that's how it should have been from the very beginning. But folks, for me, it's Saturday already, so I'm not going to be live at all today. It's my daughter's birthday, so we've got everything planned, and we're going to be, doing all of that today. For those of you in America, tomorrow. I probably will be live now on Sunday for a bit of gaming, live streaming, let's play. I know I've been trying to do that on Wednesday, but couldn't because of the pup situation. Oh, and the pup is doing really well, by the way. We've got the swab back. It's a bacterial infection, which is good news. So it's not dry eye, which was the real concern. So we're going to go and check her out next week, Friday, and hopefully start a proper treatment and fix her eye. So that is great news. But yeah, we'll do some High on Life on Sunday, I think. Is Mini Me? Yeah. He's still in Amsterdam, man. Apparently, he's still having flight problems. I was like, yeah, good luck, man. Good luck with that. Wow, Grums actually turned around and started insulting the new Xbox CEO because it's a woman. That guy is never getting laid unless he pays for it. That guy is never getting laid. I'm not going to skip Dragon Quest 7. I'm going to go back to it after I finish High on Life. High on Life is like a, 10-hour game? So I'll finish that and then jump back onto High on Life. So hopefully I'll see a bunch of you there. If you want to support what I do, you can hit that like and subscribe button. It really helps the channel grow. Thank you so much for those of you that did. We've got an extra 2 subscribers today. Getting closer to the 8,100. I appreciate it. And yeah, maybe on Sunday we'll do some giveaways as well. I'll get Minnie to jump on and push some giveaways for games that I've got that can be given away. Yeah, Dragon Quest is a lot longer. That's why I want to kind of finish High on Life and then move on. Yeah, I would have done a cameo of the pup, but she's sleeping. She's been really tired after the vaccination. So she's sleeping, so I don't want to disturb her. But hey, on Sunday you'll definitely be able to get a nice cameo from her again. Alright folks, that's it. I'm out. Thanks so much for hanging out tonight. I appreciate it, and I'll see you on Sunday. Or in the next videos that I'm going to release. Peace out, folks. She is a baby. I'm out.